Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to the All Juiced Up EV channel. Um, this is the channel that I've had for quite some time, and I'm kind of just resurrecting it, wanting to give you guys some content regarding EV news, especially weekly news. And there's a lot of things that happen throughout the week, and I just wanted to be able to come up here and give myself an avenue to express that. So I just want to welcome you guys back. If you guys have subscribed, thank you so much. If you're new here, please make sure you subscribe. Make sure you hit that notification bell. So um, I'm not too sure what's going to happen with this right now. I'm thinking either weekly EV updates and sort of a podcast type deal, or kind of sort of just do like some videos will be impromptu. So like if things happen, I'm just gonna come up here and start the podcast and really get going. But I just want to thank you guys for tuning in, watching this video. And in today's video, what we're going to get into is some weekly EV news. For you guys that don't know me, like I said, my name is Dom. I am an EV enthusiast, big time. I own a Model 3, a Model Y. They were bought back in 2021, my Model 3, and then 2022, my Model Y. So far, we have between our vehicles about 90 to 100,000 miles between them. And I am loving this EV transition since we've got them. And I definitely want to continue. They've made a believer out of me, not just Tesla. I do like other EVs as well, but um, the but Tesla definitely has made an impression on me, and it worked for my situation. And that situation was I was really looking for a low maintenance vehicle that I could charge and kind of beat out the uncertainty of gas. If you guys don't know, any Tesla, especially the Model 3, has about the equivalent of 2 gallons of gas in the battery. So the battery is about 77, 72 kilowatt hours, something along those lines. And it's about 33, 32 kilowatt hours per gallon of gas of energy. So that kind of equates to about, like I said, about 2 gallons of gas or so. And like I said, it was definitely eye opening for me. The experience, I did the math, and I followed Tesla for at least maybe 3 years before I even pulled the trigger, and I had to do the math over let's say 6 to 10 times, learning about what is kilowatt hours, how does that relate to if I want to charge it here at home, are there enough chargers? If I decide to take it on a road trip for God knows whatever reason, how much does it cost at superchargers? How much does it cost at any fast charger? Things of that nature. And so, it really took a little bit for me to figure it out. And I definitely planned it all out. And I'm glad everything has kind of set us up for success for our EV ownership. Um, Once again, this podcast is sponsored by Nine Dime Media. If you want to check out my channel, my Nine Dime Media channel, where I do like EV car reviews, which I might actually bring here, depending on how this goes. So definitely stay tuned. But getting right into it, I'm trying to bring this up for you guys. One of the big things that happened over the last week, which was very shocking, and I don't think anybody had an idea was going to happen. And I've got one of my panelist is coming in, but he'll bring himself in here in a second. So, um, yeah, one of the things that we had going on last week or within the last week is March 20th, 2025. Elon Musk conducted an impromptu all hands meeting over at Tesla's Texas Gigafactory, where he was able to address employees during this challenging time for the company. That meeting started around 9:30 at night, which was about Eastern Standard Time, which caught a lot of us off guard because I didn't even see it until the morning. And of course, it was live streamed on X. And really, the whole gist of it was to reassure staff members that about Tesla's future and its future prospects, essentially. And some of the things that he was highlighting was just the stock value and the employee shares. The stock dropped a lot over the last, let's just say over the last 2 months. And he just wanted to acknowledge the fact that that there was a recent decline, and it fell over 50% since December 2024. And he was just urging his employees to hang on to their stock, just reemphasizing and trying to reinvigorate to his constituents or employees that his belief in the company is definitely long term, and it has plenty of value and plenty of potential. He gave updates on product roadmaps, which a lot of people are interested in. He was talking about the cybercab, the robo taxi, the autonomous. If you guys hear my dog in the background, he's about 13 weeks, so he's still getting used to being here with us. But the cybercab slash robo taxi, he was discussing about the how revolutionary the process is for manufacturing, which is called the unbox process, and that they'd be able to produce a vehicle in under 5 seconds compared to like the Model Y, which is produced like every 35 seconds currently. And you know, definitely trying he likened it to high-speed consumer electronic product lines, which was pretty interesting. And Tesla is definitely about pushing the boundaries of manufacturing their processes and whatnot. And so he was projecting like an annual production target of about 2 million units, potentially reaching about 4 million or so, which is definitely going to be a sight to see. I mean, Tesla's a engineering and manufacturing juggernaut right now. And right now, they're giving a lot of flack, which is crazy, which I actually want to address real quick. People, I understand. Believe me, I understand your disdain possibly about what's going on with Tesla right now, and I really want to say, hey, you got to separate the man from the company. They are not the same at all. And there are plenty of engineers, that work really, really hard to really bring these products to life, and that they put in a lot of hard work. These are, yes, Elon is the head of the company, but I mean, come on. Do you know the CEO of General Mills? Let's be honest. If you really knew the guy and knew his proclivities and whatnot, you probably wouldn't follow a lot of other people either. And looks like we got Kendrick Foster in here. We're just gonna bring him on stage. Hold on, let me switch this. Oh, Kendrick. Yo, Kedrick, what's up, man? Hold on, I can't hear you, bud. Just making sure some of the mic settings on my end should be good. Yeah. Yeah, everything's working over on this side. Yeah, still can't hear you. Man, I will say one thing. I need to get me a new camera. Jeez. I'm getting like grains all over the place. But we'll definitely fix that. And as Kedrick is fixing his audio, we're just gonna talk about one of the other product roadmap points that Elon was making. Definitely, he was talking about the Optimus humanoid robot, which is really crazy. Um, you know, they got plans to produce that approximately like 5,000 units here in 2025, which is pretty crazy, seeing as how it was unveiled and talked about for a while, but now he's talking about actual production plans, and then the ambitions that he has for scaling it up to about 50,000 units by 2026. Which my thing is, for a $30,000 robot, dude, who's going to afford these things? People, honestly and objectively, not many people are buying $30,000 cars. So I mean, you're talking about robots, which will have a lot more use a lot more usefulness around your home and whatnot, getting software updates, kind of like the cars. It actually runs AI just like the cars do. They're training them in the same way. But also, he gave an update on autonomous driving, of course, which is everybody's favorite subject because Elon's on Elon time, and he's always talking about how close FSD is to being 100% ready to go, and so on and so forth. And I'm not hating on him. I'm really a big proponent of it. I mean, it's been nice, the times that he's given us the trial for it, but I do want to. Um, I would like. He's very ambitious about it, which I get. He's very passionate. I'm cool with that. It's just, man, let's just be realistic about the timeline. I'm waiting for it. A lot of people are waiting for it, and it's perfectly fine. No biggie, no harm, no foul. But just let us know what's going on. But yeah, he's suggesting that within 5 years, autonomous Teslas could be operational globally, significantly enhancing the utility of the company's vehicle fleet. Now, I'm not sure how he's gonna do, because I mean they're just now getting to being able to do it here well, not here, but here in the US, but in Texas and Austin, and just being able to do that and getting through the regulatory approvals in order to do that. So, and then plus we have we're gonna have, and I'm very interested in seeing how that goes first. I'm definitely praying that nothing, adverse happens to where somebody gets hurt or any accidents or incidents that happen. I'm really hoping that they're really able to nail it and continue that, because I like the fact that sometimes I don't have to drive, and um, even on the road, it's pretty interesting to see it react. And being when I was a new Tesla driver, I had to learn how to trust it. That was the first thing I had to do. I had to learn how to trust that thing, because man, that thing was crazy. You didn't know what it was going to do. You had to get used to it, and so on and so forth. Um, Yeah, so Elon also addressed some challenges. He was acknowledging the recent adversities, including the acts of vandalism against Tesla vehicles and facilities, stating, if you read the news, it feels like Armageddon, where he also condemned the actions and emphasized the importance of the resilience during turbulent times, which for me, okay, let's be honest. This isn't going to get real political at all, but I'm just saying it. Elon did this to himself essentially by being a special government employee, and the way that he's slashing through. Like, Elon is very famous for the manufacturing and the engineering side of Tesla and his companies, and just being able to try to improve each process. And I'm all for that. But the problem comes in when you try to do that with the federal government. You cannot do that with the federal government. You just can't. That's impossible. And you're talking about, people who run very important, very dare I say it, sacred things. Different branches of the government. You just can't do that. And let's just check in with Kedrick. Hey, Kedrick, you there?
No?
Yep.
We can
Hey, there you are. Yeah, we can hear you now.
All right, cool. Now I lost my screen. Hold on 1 second.
Okay.
What I did with my screen. Moving all this stuff around.
Yeah, man.
How you doing though?
I'm doing pretty good. How about yourself?
Good, man. Good, man.
Yeah, so everybody, this is Kedrick Foster. He's definitely one of the panelists that's going to be on here talking about, his EV experience. And I was just telling people that, this is kind of a revival channel, the All Juiced Up podcast. And, I wanted to have more representation of us in the EV community. And that's just very big for me, because this is something that's going to transform, I think, the way, of mobility moving forward.
I agree. And it's been a lot going. There's a lot of news going on as a black EV owner.
Oh, for sure.
Kind of puts us in a weird space, because now been getting a lot of side eyes.
Really?
Definitely been getting a lot of side eyes.
Now, man, you got to let him know. Hey, I bought this before he went, all back crazy, man. Come on now.
Exactly. Hey, where did my screen go? That's crazy.
So, as you're finding your screen, I do have a few questions, just introducing ourselves to the audience here. And we're just going to start with, if I can find my notes here. All right. So let's go ahead and talk about who is Kedrick Foster? How did he get into EVs? What made him get into EVs? And what do you drive?
Okay, so I'm Kedrick Foster. I actually have a tech YouTube channel on YouTube, Kedrick Foster, under my name, Kedrick Foster. And I'm just one of those people that, like, I just like tech. Like, if there's something new as far as technology, I'm one of those people that I gotta get it. I gotta try it. And that was like a lot of the reason why I even started my YouTube channel. Was I needed an excuse to buy this stuff, because I was just buying it, and I was like, all right, let me do something with all this tech I got, and I could actually do something constructive with, versus just buying it for no reason and sitting it on the shelf.
I get
So
that.
of course, when you look at vehicles, I mean, what better technologically advanced vehicle is it than a Tesla? I don't think there is.
No, for
And
sure.
I still remember one of my good friends, 2018. I want to say 2018, randomly knocked on my door. He has a Tesla Model 3 sitting
Mhm.
out front, and I'm like, "What is that?" And he was like, "Man, I just got a Tesla, man. You gotta come take a ride. Come take a ride." And like before we even get in the car, he's like, "Look what it can do." He's outside the car, hitting stuff on his phone. The car is moving up and back and forth by itself, and
Mm.
I was already sold right there. I ain't even get in the car yet. I was like, "Oh, I gotta get one of these." I ain't even get in the car yet. He's like, "Let's take a ride." So we get in, we take off, we get out the neighborhood to like this little straightaway. And I'm like, why is he slowing down? We just on like this open stretch of road. And he just
Mhm.
slowing down. I'm like, why you slowing down in the middle of the road? So he stops in the middle of the straightaway. And all of he said, "Yeah, you got your seatbelt." He said, "You look at me like you got your seatbelt on." Like, yeah, I got my seatbelt on. Like the hell he about to do? And he just smashed the gas. And I tell you, that's when I really was sold. I said,
Yeah.
yeah. I said, yeah, I'm getting one of these.
Yeah, man.
And it's been no turning back yet. I actually just purchased my second Tesla last week,
Oh, nice.
and
What is it?
we got another Model 3.
Okay.
My wife.
Okay. The refresh model?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
Nice.
yeah, yeah. Yep, 2025. Yep.
Awesome.
And it was funny because like the whole time I had my Tesla, my wife was like, "I don't like the Tesla. I don't like." She was driving a Mercedes at the time, and to her like that was like the greatest car in the world. And I was like, "No, you
Mhm.
gotta get a Tesla. You gotta get a Tesla. You gotta get a Tesla." But in the back of my mind, I was like, I know her Mercedes was on a lease, so I knew
Mhm.
it was about to run out within like another year. So I was like, I'm getting a Tesla because I'm not buying another gas car.
Mm.
She don't know it yet, but we're getting a Tesla. So I was like, all
Yeah,
right.
man.
So 4 years is up. The lease on a Mercedes is up, and I was like, all right, we got to get a Tesla. It's still now in her head she wants a Range Rover.
Mm.
So I was like, all right, what are we gonna do about this? I said, I got an idea. I'm gonna rent you a Tesla for 2 weeks. You gonna drive it. If you like the Tesla, we'll get you a Tesla. If you don't like it, you're gonna get the Range. We'll get the Range Rover. So I went on Toro. I rented a Model Y for 2 weeks, and it's been Tesla since that. Since she had that experience of driving a Tesla, she been loving it. She was like, all right, we can get the Tesla. And now, like 2 weeks after owning the new car, she was like, "I'm not gonna lie to you, Katie. This is the best car I ever had."
Mhm.
I was like,
Mhm.
I've been trying to tell you.
Exactly.
I've been trying to tell
Exactly.
you.
That's what's up, man. That's what's up. Hey, what city y'all in?
We at Havre de Grace, which is like 45 minutes outside of Baltimore.
Oh, so yeah. So honestly, man, your perspective is gonna be real key because that's a pretty pretty car heavy area, travel heavy for
Yeah.
sure. So yeah, your perspective is definitely gonna come in key, man, because I'm down here in Charlotte, North Carolina. So
I
man,
mean, how tired did you get? I don't know about you, but I know for me, when I first got my Tesla, how I got some of the craziest questions. Like, you don't worry about your battery running out?
man, everybody asked that. Like, yeah. So what do you do if you don't have enough charge? I go
Right.
charge the car. Like
Right.
like seriously, that's all I do. But also at the same time, for me, like for those that don't know, my Tesla story or my EV story starts maybe like 2 years prior before I got my Tesla, and I got my Model 3 in 2021, August 2021. And about a year or two before that, I had to go to Cary, North Carolina for work at the time. And ironically, I didn't know it, but it was during that gas shortage where the pipeline got shut down. And
Mm.
so I didn't think nothing of it until after I got off work because I didn't hear anything of it until about midday throughout work. And I was like, okay, yeah, whatever, it's no problem. And I had drove my mother-in-law's Chevy Trax because I mean, at the time, me and my wife, we, working from home for the most part, we only had, we downsized to one car, and it was like, yeah, we really don't need it because I'm working from home. It's all good.
Right.
And we were in lockdown, so didn't really need two cars. And as I was out there, I didn't think nothing of it after I got off work either. I was like, you know what? I'm gonna go grab me something to eat. I'm going to sleep. And I had plenty of range anyway in that car because I think I had like 100 miles. And Chevy Trax, they were pretty fuel efficient. It wasn't until I got back to the room and I was watching the news and they were saying how bad it is, and I was like, okay, you know what? Let me go ahead and go out and go grab some gas. Every gas station I passed in a 5 to 6 mile radius was around the corner, and I was like, nah, man, this is crazy. I don't even at this point because I had one more day to be there to work, and then I was going home, and
Right.
so I just said, you know what? I'm gonna conserve whatever gas I got in this car right now, and I'm gonna just get up at like 5, 6 in the morning and just go around for gas. So next day I woke up, about five in the morning, and I went over to the nearest gas station, and they had just got a delivery of gas, so I know that they had it. Also, there was a line though. Now I was probably like car number 20, and they only had like a 4 stall gas
Hmm.
station.
I'm having trouble hearing you.
Wait a second. No. But then so I was like car number 20, and it took like maybe an hour and a half before I got up there for gas. And then on top of that, it was trickling when I was trying to pump gas. I was just trying to pump enough gas to get home. But during that time, I saw Teslas just driving by, and it just made me think. I was like, man, I know they don't have this problem. I know it. Ain't no
Right.
way. And so that's what really perked me up. And I called my wife. I said, nope, we're done. She was like, what are you talking about? I was like, nah, we're done. I'm done with these gas cars. Look at this shortage, blah, blah, blah. I was just going off. And I was like, the next car is going to be an electric vehicle. And so the time came when my wife had to, everything, they had to go back into school and whatnot. My wife's like, all right, what car are we getting? I said, we're getting a Tesla Model 3.
Mhm.
She drove it for the first year. She absolutely loved it. And we did the calculations and whatnot. And, we got the charger put in the house. I knew how much, I buy, we use per kilowatt hour, how much it was going to cost us to power the car XYZ. And man, we never looked back. It was done. It was a done deal to a point to where, my wife drove that for a while until I bought her a Model Y back in 2022. And so after that, we were just an all EV family. But yeah, we get the same things. It's like, my family was like, all right, well, he's going EV. So, hey man, how do you charge it? Can you take me in a test drive? Blah, 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 XYZ,
Yeah.
the whole thing, man. It just, it is what it is. People are curious. They want to know why such change. How do you coping with the change, and possibly waiting for you to fail at that change too.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. And it was even 2 days ago that I got a text from my mother saying, you need to look out. There's a website that's giving out Tesla owners information or something. I was like, what? And of course, I look into it and I was like, oh, there was a site, but I guess it had got taken down at that point. But
Mhm.
that's like now it's like to the other side to where people went from being curious to the other side of it, to saying like you gotta be careful with that Tesla.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. Um, but yeah, so did you have any hesitations before getting into yours?
No, no, not
That's
at
fair.
all. Not at all. And then I was coming from I had what did I have before that? I had a BMW before that had was giving me nothing but issues as far as
Mhm.
maintenance, the maintenance costs, and then of course, even though I already had my mind made up that I was going to get one, of course, I still went and did my research and
Absolutely.
looked at YouTube videos to see what some of the owners were saying. And then another thing that came out of that was when they were saying like the limited maintenance costs.
Mm,
And I was already sober for that. But then when they said no low maintenance costs, I was like, oh man, where
yeah.
do where do I sign up at that point? And like I said, it's definitely been probably if I had to say my yeah. my best purchase I've made within that time period.
I feel you. I totally agree. As somebody who, I'm 35, so the first car I had was like a Mazda 626, 1995, I think. And that was like my first introduction to a car and maintenance and things of that nature. And it didn't take long for me to be like, man, every time you turn around, you got to take the thing in for an oil change, tire rotation, God knows whatever else they add to it. And then on top of that, I used to work for a dealership auto group, and I already had my reservations about if they were scamming me or not. And working there, of course, I learned a little bit more. I'm like, yeah, they definitely scamming. But even on top of that, I like, since having my Model 3, I've only had to take it in. I just recently took it in like maybe a month and a half ago. And that was only because the LTE board went out and the um, driver occupancy sensor went out. And that's for me driving the car over the past 4 years. But other than that, it's just been tire rotations.
Yeah, so for me, I have a 2018. It now has approaching 80,000 miles on it.
Okay. Yeah, that's good
I've
use.
I've been to service once, and that was because I had a cracked roof. So that wasn't really a maintenance thing. And then I had maintenance to come out and replace my 12-volt battery. And that was maybe, I want to say 4 years into owning a car. So other than that, I have had no service other than tires.
That's awesome. Yeah, I mean, it's I'm when I tell people, I'm like, I'm not trying to doctor it up for you. Literally, I've never taken this car in.
Yep.
Like maybe I've had like a puddle light go out, but they came and replaced that for free while I was under warranty. Like I haven't come out of pocket except for just this last recent stuff, because we're at like 63,000 miles on my Model 3, and my wife, she's got like 38,000 on her Model Y. So hers still under warranty, so whatever is going on, we get that fixed. But like mine, and then on top of that, we've got like Tesla credits, or like Tesla money for like people who bought like Teslas off of our referral. And even at that, like the last thing that I got repaired, I used that money. I didn't use my money. So, we still got a little bit in there. And I actually got something that I need. My upper control joint is going bad, is bad, or is going bad. And I'm pretty sure that's going to cover it. And I've already did my research. It should cost me about like 180 because they're going to do both. But yeah, it's I try to tell people, I'm not doctoring this up for you. I'm telling you exactly what I just get in the car and go. Like, that's it.
Yeah, and it's funny though, because when I just told you my wife was in the market for a new car, I actually went and this was of course this was in the middle of everything that's going on.
Yeah.
So I said, all right, let me see if it's been a while since I shot for a car. Let me see if there's another EV that has even come anywhere close to Tesla. Because if there was, I would get one. It's not like I'm
Yeah.
blindly loyal to Tesla.
Yeah.
They just happen to have the best EV.
So like
So
the Toyota Corolla VVs.
yeah, and I looked at all of them, and there's some that look better, but then at the end of the day, the technology that's in the car is nobody's even a close second.
Yeah.
So it kind of made it a no-brainer. Now, of course, um, I'll probably be in the market for a car, and let's say I have a 18-year-old that's going to be my excuse to get myself a new car and give him my car.
Why
So
not?
so I'll be maybe within the next couple of years. So I guess we'll revisit that again in the next couple of years to see if anybody else has stepped their game up. But
I feel you.
The only other one that I really kind of considered was the Rivian,
Yeah. Same here.
but that
Which
was
one
like $100,000. So the actual SUV, not the pickup. It
though?
was
The
at the
R1S.
R1.
Okay. Yeah, the
Yes,
R1S.
yeah, the R1S. So I wasn't quite ready to make that jump to $100,000 because I already felt like I got gypped on my. That's another thing that was kind of upsetting to me when I bought my Model 3. I think I paid over like $50,000 for it.
Same here.
Fast
Yeah.
forward to now, I don't 30.
Yeah.
I was
Yeah.
like, man, but it is what it is.
Yeah. I feel you. Yeah. The Tesla, well, the EV scene is a little weird right now. You have Rivian. I mean, if anybody's somewhat of a close second, at least in the United States, is definitely Rivian, as far as experience, looks, tech, things of that nature. They're definitely trying. And along with you, for me, Rivian would be the next, and they got the R2 coming out, so we'll see what that looks like. But I mean, as many times I go over that kind of situation in my head, I have to look at, okay, and this is based on my wife. If my wife decides to go anywhere in the US, is there a charger available for her? Because if
Exactly.
I'm not with her, I
Yep.
need her to just be able to follow that GPS and to
Yep.
the T and get to where she's going. That is it. And
That
so far, the experience with anything other than a Tesla supercharger for me is not up to par. And
absolutely.
go ahead.
Yeah, that was the other part. And that's like one of the things that I think is going to make it really hard for any other company to really have any type of impact on Tesla. Like you mentioned the stock prices. I advise a lot of people on stock purchases, and I've advised
Mhm.
people in the past to buy Tesla stock, and I receive phone calls. Should I sell my Tesla stock? And I said no. You know why? Because what's going on right now, in my opinion, is news based, and that's that's going to be different when the news cycle changes. It's hot hot topic right now.
Right.
But you have to look at the actual company. Don't look at what's going on with Elon Musk. Look at the actual company and look at other EVs that Tesla is in competition with.
Yeah.
There's nobody's going to catch them. So you just hold tight. If
Yeah.
anything, buy some more right now.
Yeah.
If anything, buy some more because it's cheap right now.
By the
Again,
dip.
I'm not a professional. Don't take my advice, but
Yeah.
but that's the way I feel about it. Like nobody's really close to them. So and that charger network, like you said, is a big factor in that because that's 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 like an important thing. Imagine
Important.
buying a car that only have limited places to fill up. That's going to be now again. I have 2 chargers installed at home, but everybody doesn't have that situation. Some people
True.
actually rely on superchargers. So that is a major advantage for Tesla right now.
Yeah, that's yeah, absolutely it is. And that's something that I think will always continue to be their advantage for what's going on. Hold on one second for me. All right, I'm back. The other thing is safety. For me, safety is a big thing. I mean, I got 4 kids, man, age ranging from 14, 9, 4, and 3. Like, and my wife has been in a couple fender benders, not her fault, but my thing is after doing my research, they've got 5-star quality. Like,
Mhm.
and some of it's even unheard of compared to a lot of other cars. And the way that they've manufactured the vehicle to kind of take the impact and kind of warp it around the shell, or the fuselage, or whatever you want to call it, where you're sitting in. That is major for me. Like, I don't need, if there's anything that the car can do extra on top of me watching out for myself, I'm all for it.
Yeah, and just the way that EVs are generally built um, lends it more to being safe just because you have that lower center of gravity. You don't have anything in that crumple zone at the front, so
Yeah.
there's no engine right there that's going to be pushed up into your lap if you were in a head-on collision. So a lot of those things, if the main issue is, well, not issue, the main reason that it's so safe is it's really hard to flip a Tesla.
Yeah.
just because of the weight and where the weight is distributed on the chassis. So
Yeah.
yeah, safety is a big thing. And another thing, like I wanted to touch on too, is going back to the charging situation.
Mhm.
Even with Tesla opening up their superchargers to other EVs, it's still not going to be that same Tesla charging experience,
Nah,
and
nah.
it's not going to be at all the Tesla charging stations. So
That's the other thing that it gets. That's why I tell people, I'm like, yeah, I look at other EVs, but at the same time, when it comes time to charge the thing, if I can't charge it at any Tesla charger, I don't want it,
right,
because who's to say that that Tesla charger that's appropriated for other EVs is completely out of the way?
right,
I'm completely deterred on whatever, wherever I'm going in order to, charge my vehicle and then get back on the road and, back on track and try to get to where I'm going. That's a problem for me. I've done trips down to Jacksonville. I'm confident right now I could take my car anywhere, really. And I don't have that same confidence with the others. And that's, to me, I think that's a bit of a problem. I mean, yes, Rivian is doing well, but man, I don't know.
yeah, and so as far as trips too, so I've I've taken a trip from Maryland to Florida in
Mhm.
my Tesla, and it actually was not bad,
Mm-mm.
especially for the driver because I get to stop every 2.5, 3 hours and go to Wawa, use the
Yeah, yeah.
bathroom, get something to drink. So normally, normally you're like, I'm gonna push through,
Mhm.
but this forces you to stop. It's forcing you to stop, and literally, like I made the mistake on the way down. When you stop, it'll say charge for 10 minutes. And I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, why am I charging for 10 minutes? It's only going up to 60, 70%. Let me sit here and charge a little bit longer. Not knowing the Tesla computer is smarter than me. So
Mm.
on the way back, I listened to exactly what it said, and it probably cut another hour and a half off my trip. So
Mm. Yeah.
definitely not a bad experience to do road tripping in a Tesla. And my next experiment is going to be Tesla camping, which I'm
Ooh.
excited to try.
That's yeah, that's gonna be interesting.
Yeah,
That's gonna be interesting. I haven't gotten to that yet. I thought about it. Maybe doing a video of, like, I don't know, just s- now one thing I want to do is, I don't know, just turn it on like full blast, like AC, blah blah, whatever, and see how long it takes to drain it. Um, you know, Another advantage, so far right now in my situation is, with my kids, like when I take them somewhere or whatnot, and they're bored, go get in the car and go watch something.
yeah,
It's like a babysitter. Whenever I go somewhere, it's like, hey, go, yeah, go watch Disney Plus, Netflix, or what have you. And I mean, the range hit or the power hit to it is minimal. Like, even after doing, you can sit there and watch a couple movies, 3 hour movie or so, and still only lose maybe 1-2%, per se. And it's like, I I don't notice it. Not
yeah,
really.
and yep. And so I've semi tested this. So I work in a utility industry, and during storm, like any storm, like where we have like widespread power outages,
Mhm.
one of my jobs is to go and find down power lines. And if I find one, I have to sit there and watch it to make sure nobody comes close to it and touches it and kills themselves, right?
Yeah.
Until we can get a crew to come and fix it. So when the storm came, I got a job. I had to come and watch this line, and I was literally there sitting in my car watching this down line for 12 hours. 12
Ooh.
hours. And I'm blasting my blasting my heat,
Mhm.
watching YouTube.
Mhm.
I'm chilling. That's what really gave me the idea to try the camping because I put it in camp mode,
Yeah.
little fireplace turned on, heat turned on. I was good. And I went from overnight with all of that going on, I went from about 80% down to mm, think I was at like 30%, from 80 to 30% overnight.
That's not bad.
And that's with the heat blowing, that's with the
Yeah.
ready meal going, that's for 11, 12 hours straight. So
Yeah, the little creature comforts. Yeah, I understand that. That's cool. And nothing wrong with that. So question. How do you feel about Tesla's current state?
as far as everything that's going on in the news, you mean?
Yeah.
It's not the best look right now, honestly. And Elon is, I don't know. I don't know what he's doing, man. But that's what happens when you get somebody from the business field and trying to put him into politics.
Right.
It's not where you belong. It's not where you belong. Um, I'm not going to say what he's doing in the government is right or wrong because honestly, I don't have enough information to accurately say that. I know what it looks like. I know it doesn't look the best. But it may be valid what he's finding. It may be valid what he's finding, but it may not be. And being put alongside Donald Trump doesn't look the best for his credibility. But it's hard. It's hard. But I think at the end of the day,
Mhm.
they're going to take a hit. They're definitely going
Yeah.
to take a hit. But I think as far as their business model and their lead on their competition, they'll be able to withstand it and come out the other end of it. But it definitely doesn't look good. I don't
Right.
think I don't think Tesla is in jeopardy of going bankrupt or going out of business or anything like that.
Right.
But it definitely doesn't look good. And definitely, it's going to be a hit on their popularity. But I think they'll withstand it and they'll come out the other side of it.
Agreed. Yeah, and they have a lot going for them. One thing I don't get essentially is Tesla's hate. Even in the prior administration, like the Biden administration, he was snubbed. Tesla was snubbed a little bit, and you know, the crazy thing is that they were still able to stand on their own without needing, you know, outside of their credits that they get that they accumulate that other EV makers or other car companies buy from them. They've always been able to stand by themselves because they're also very well vertically integrated. And we talk about American made. Before Tesla, you had, when you say American made, you're talking about GM, you're talking about Stellantis, you're talking about Ford. But now, with Tesla entering this, they're so profitable on their EVs where other companies aren't even sniffing profits. And, for everybody to hate on them the way that they do, I'm just like, this is an American made company. I thought this is what we wanted.
Right.
And they're dominating it globally. The Tesla Model Y is the best selling car, not EV, best selling car for 2 years straight on his road possibly to a third year.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
that's crazy
And you know
for an
what's
American made company.
You know what's funny about that? So shameless plug. My brother and I, we actually have a podcast as well,
Mhm.
um, where we talk about just trending topics, sports, things like that. And actually, one of the things we talked about was it was a clip from a podcast where they asked, "Is opportunity is it earned or is it given?"
Mhm.
Somebody on some podcast made the argument that opportunities are not earned; they're given. Somebody has to be in a position to give you an opportunity, even if you're a hard worker and you
It's
do
fair.
all the other things you're supposed to do. Long story short, the segue. I feel a lot of these uh, CEOs of these companies, Ford, Chevy, whatever the other car companies are,
Mhm.
they're not always going to be the most qualified person for that job.
No.
They are the people who have the connections, know the people that's going to be able to put them in the position that they're in. I say all that to say this. There's no reason that Tesla should have this far of a lead in the EV market versus all of these other well-established companies. And there's nobody to blame but the CEOs who either
100%.
one didn't take the EV revolution seriously enough,
Yeah.
or they just not making the right decisions to put out a like it will. How hard would it be, even if you have to take a loss at the beginning, to come out with a car that is 95% of what a Tesla Model Y is? How hard would that be to do? But nobody can seem to come even anywhere close.
Right.
Like even during the time that I was shopping for my wife's car, we looked at a lot of the other EVs, and 90% of them are just the gas version of another car that's been retrofitted with a battery and a motor.
Yeah.
Nobody's really taking the time to develop a EV from the ground up to actually like how hard would it like literally if a company came out with a 7-seat SUV electric vehicle
Hmm.
that started as an electric vehicle, the closest example we have to that, there's not even 7-seater, but the closest example that we have is the Mach E,
Hmm.
which they couldn't even come up with their own name for that vehicle.
They had
They
to rely on Mustang to do
they
it.
had to rely on Mustang to do that.
Yep.
But that's the closest we've seen one of the major companies come and build a family type vehicle from the ground up. And
For sure.
if any other companies could do that instead of just trying to retrofit parts that they already have for a different vehicle and then swap it over to a EV chassis,
Hmm.
I think we would have somebody like they have the money to be able to invest in a project like that. But of course, the decisions that were made at the top is we're going to get into this market the cheapest way possible.
Yeah.
See if we can just take a portion of the market share versus you have the resources to actually put up a product that will actually compete with Tesla, but nobody's yet to do that, which I don't understand.
Yeah. Well, so the problem is with those American made companies, the big three, and I touched on it earlier, Tesla's vertically integrated, which means they control from top to bottom where they're sourcing the minerals, processing the minerals, building the batteries. Well, now building the batteries, because I mean they've been trying to get to that for the longest, but building the batteries, sourcing the parts for the car, assembling the car in the US, and selling the car. So from beginning to end, and even at that, JB Strobel, who was a Tesla executive, is owns Redwood Materials, which is the recycling plant that the Teslas will start going to once they're end of life, which means they're going to crush it down and recycle it to build more of Tesla. So, essentially Tesla is involved from beginning to end and then back to the beginning.
Yeah.
You have the big three that they outsource so many processes, parts, everything. Like even their cars are assembled in like Canada or Mexico. So parts are sourced, built, produced, and the cars part of the cars are put together in Canada or Mexico and then shipped here to the US to be sold. So when they were talking about the whole tariff talk, you know, they were at Trump's door like, "Sir, please, you cannot do this. It's going to
Right.
crush us." And they're already not making profits on their regular cars. And
Right.
so, when you control the entire stack, you can set the prices because you know how much it costs. You can look down the line. Even at that, what I learned relatively recently, is that even the programming done for the cars, the infotainment systems and whatnot, that's outsourced too. They don't do it in house. Tesla's doing everything in house, which gives them a major advantage. And so, I think they've given the blueprint, which is what Rivian is following, Lucid's following. And if EVs really continue to take off the way that they have been, I think there's a new big three in play, and to a point to where, I don't think the current big three has, a pot to piss in. Like honestly, that's just my take.
And just look at the infotainment system. There's not even a vehicle that's close to that.
No.
They can't even do that part of it. We're
No.
not even mentioning what's the first Model S came out, 2014?
Mm-hmm.
So look at that 10, 11 year head start that they have on the charging network. That alone will let you know nobody's going to catch Tesla
Nope.
at any point soon on that part of the equation and that part of their ecosystem. That will always give them an advantage over anybody, at least a 10-year advantage over
And their mindset. They're always in continuing mode. Like they're always, okay, yeah, we did that. All right, moving on to the next. We got to make it better. And it's just like, wow, a lot of companies will get complacent and just say, nah, we're good. We got the lead. We're good. And yes, the gap looks like it's narrowing between Tesla and a lot of other companies, but it's not, because Tesla's still speeding ahead. Like, all right, you guys are just doing that. Yeah, hey, we're making our own batteries, and then we're getting ready to change that game and say, all right, we're not only we making our own batteries, we've got version 2 of our own batteries that's going to take our cars farther, going to be more energy dense, so on and so forth.
Yeah, and the whole business model is so far ahead of any other just think about, and something that really excites me is I have was it 2008, what's that now? 7-year-old car.
Mhm.
7-year-old car, and tomorrow I can go into my car and have a new update.
Dude, I got an update waiting on me right now.
Yeah, so like that part of it is like I never really feel like my car is old.
Nah, and that's perfect. That is beautiful.
It's the best.
Yeah.
Because you never really have that. You never can really have that buyer's remorse. Like actually, now you can feel it a little bit when they do these updates. But most of the stuff I can go and buy the back screen for my Model 3 if I wanted to, or if I wanted to put the ambient lighting in it, I could do that. But like the base features of the car, if I wanted to, I can go upgrade my computer system for $1,000 and have all the latest features. So it's like I don't have to go and buy a whole new car to be up to date with whatever the latest updates or latest technology. And 8 years later, my car is still getting updates, which is great. Then you have to think about the fact that, and this was smart as far as, I know some people probably don't like this that buy Teslas, but it was smart in a manufacturing sense that there's cars where I can, if it didn't come with it, I can buy heated seats by swiping something on my screen. The heated coils are already sitting in the back of on the seat. It's just a system upgrade that I can do from my car or from my phone to update my car for $300.
Yeah.
So like little things like that, the decisions that Tesla made and on how to save costs and how to make money in the future is really smart.
Yeah. They did that really, really nicely, because essentially they took out all the complexity. You ever order, like a BMW or, like you said, Mercedes and whatnot. When you order your car, you have, you can add this, you can add that, you can add that, and they'll build it for you just like that. But Tesla said, nah, you get limited options for most of the features. And if you get the limited option Tesla, sure, and you feel like you want to upgrade your car, yeah, just pay us X amount of dollars and we'll unlock this feature for you, no problem.
Right.
And which allows them to make the same car continuously and keep margins the way it is. And then, it gives us, new features. Now, speaking of new features, for instance, I was telling somebody about this the other day. When I first got my car, I didn't have the I can't remember the name of it right now. I'm sure you'll think for me, but like if somebody's next to me on the highway, the only time you notice that is when you hit your blinker and you're getting ready to get over, and it'll tell you somebody's in your blind spot monitor. That's what it is.
Yep.
I didn't quite have that in the beginning, but now I do. But then also, if I'm parked, and this update came most recently, if I'm parked and I'm trying to back up and there's a car coming behind me, my car now tells me that there's a car, rear cross traffic awareness. And that was just an update. Granted, yeah, I don't have the fancy lights that the new ones do in the mirrors, but if I'm backing out, the screen lights up red on either side for whichever side that car or vehicle is coming from.
Mhm.
And that is genius. That's insane. That's one of the reasons why, yeah, you can come out with all the new ones now. And I'm just like, yeah, there's some major features that sure would be nice, but I'm not clamoring for it. Whereas
Right.
I bought a brand new 2017 Honda Civic back in 2016. And the next year it came another one came out, and I'm like, dang, they added that feature.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Well, like I said, they ahead of the game on that one, and like I said, people, I think, and like then the prices, like
Mhm.
literally my wife's Model 3 is the least expensive car I've purchased in a while, and it does like so much more than any of my other vehicles could
Absolutely.
ever even think about doing.
Oh yeah. Yeah, and they're working to. I think they're working to make it even cheaper too. Because one of the things that Tesla had was an all hands meeting not too long ago, which was pretty surprising. But also, I think something that Elon had to do in order to make sure that you know everything kind of gets back on track to show the public that he's back or still focused on creating EVs and Tesla itself. And one of the things he was talking about is, the unbox process, cybercab, battery production. They're working on the dry cathode and whatnot. And honestly, what's crazy about that, the way that Tesla's making their batteries right now, they're using like some sort of solution to put in the batteries in order to join both sides of the battery. But now they're working on the dry process, which um, if you really look at it in its simplest form, not having to add the solution or the liquid in there, it makes them lighter. And if you put that over multiple batteries and battery packs, you're talking about the car being lighter, which means it can go slightly farther. But then also, this is a breakthrough because everybody said that they've had to have this liquid in there, and they're like, no, we don't. Or,
Right.
and they're figuring that out, and they're always innovating, just continuous innovation all the time. And what this translates to is when they're able to implement this new system or this new battery, they're able to bring the prices down because you know what, we can take hit on margins, and now we can start giving you that $30,000 sub 30 and sub $30,000 car and still maintain our margins.
Yeah. And then the other part of that is, as far as Tesla goes, right? Like they are not set to a model year, even though you can
No.
look in your car and see, all right, I have a 2000, whatever, 15,
Mhm.
16. If they have a new innovation, they're going to bring it out now. They're not waiting until,
Right.
how normal cars, like the next model year will come out in normally like September, sometimes August, September. The next
Yep.
model year will come out. If they have a new innovation and it's ready to go, it's coming out now. They don't care if it's July,
Whenever it's ready.
don't care if it's March, it's coming out. So that those little small iterations of technology upgrades that they're doing every couple of months in their production, after a while, you don't have to wait 10 years to make all of these jumps. You're making these jumps monthly or semi-monthly. So I mean that in itself is going to let Tesla build even a larger lead when
Yeah.
it comes to technology in their vehicles.
Yeah, that's awesome. It's almost like it's like Elon's calling down and be like, "Hey man, this ready yet?" They're like, "Yeah. All right, cool. Do it. Let's
Right.
go ahead and do it right now."
Right.
Like, "Oh shoot. All right, cool. No problem."
Yeah.
It's a really awesome thing. Oh, so what do you think about the Cybertruck? Yeah, and this is probably like the last topic before we get out of here too.
Yeah. So when the Cybertruck was first announced, I put my $100 uh deposit down.
Mhm.
'Cause I thought they estimated the price was going to be something different.
Oh, but yeah, they did big
Yeah.
time.
I don't even remember what it was, but
Oh, I can tell you what it was. The single motor, the rear
Mhm.
wheel drive, that was supposed to be 39,990. The dual motor was supposed to be 49,990, and the tri motor was supposed to be 59,990.
Oh, yeah, so that kinda explains why I probably put $100 down, but
Yeah.
when it came out and it was like 100,000,
Yeah, man.
I was like, "Yeah, no, I'm not gonna do that,"
Uh,
and I've seen they have a major recall out on them now, but
yeah.
like I said, I like 'em. I
Yeah.
like I like it. It's different. I don't, like I said, I'm all about technology. I'm all about trying new stuff. So it's like I saw something different and I want to try it out. I don't know what it is about me. I just like to try.
That's a good thing. It's these are people, it's people like you that are going to continue to drive us forward, because I mean it's just that curiosity,
Yeah.
wanting to adapt the technology into your life and being able to use it in such a way that it benefits you. And I mean, that's not a lot of people are like that. A lot of people like things to be stagnant. They like to stay exactly the way it is, but life isn't like that.
Yeah, you gotta be ready for the next change. Just like this AI revolution we're going through right now. You need to learn. You need to be, if not learning, you need to be familiar with it at least.
Familiar, bro. ChatGPT is my friend. Me and ChatGPT, we like this. I talk to it in the morning. I be like, I ask it questions all the time. It helps me at work. Like, man, please.
I don't know if you remember the meme where I think it's like, you are now been promoted to my most valuable employee.
Mm-hmm.
That's ChatGPT at my work. And I don't know if you're familiar. I don't want to change the subject, but if you haven't already, start looking at Manus.
Manus.
Yeah. When ChatGPT came out, I compared it to Google on steroids.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Manus is ChatGPT on steroids. So
interesting. Okay, I'm gonna have to
definitely check that out. You have to request access to it, but
okay.
Yeah, definitely check that out. It's gonna blow you away.
Okay. Well, yeah, man. So, all right, guys. I really want to thank every one of you that watched this video. I definitely want to thank Kedrick, because I've been trying to get something like this off the ground for a minute, and this whole, I kind of want to have as many panelists as possible, and to me it doesn't even matter like if it's consistent, people. But I, of course, if you have the opportunity, definitely, continue to be a panelist on here, because I just want to drive the conversation forward about electric vehicles, tech, and whatnot. And I just want to thank you for coming on. And you know what, hey, anybody that's watching, let's go follow Kedrick over at YouTube, and subscribe and drive it through the roof, man. Go ahead and plug your stuff, man.
Appreciate it. So you can find me on Kedrick Foster on YouTube, but don't even worry about that. What I want you to go and check out is From the Crib podcast. We on YouTube, we on Spotify, Apple Music, Apple Podcasts, all the places you can find me. Me and my brothers, we talk about sports, we talk about entertainment, we talk about all of
it. Nice. All right, guys. If you please hit like, comment, subscribe, definitely hit us up. If you have any questions or anything that you want to add to the conversation, we definitely want to take that in consideration and bring this back to you, answer it for you in the next episode and whatnot. And like I said, I have a lot of plans for this. Definitely going to start taking this to definitely new heights with content, and making sure that we talk about all EVs and all topics and weekly updates about things that happen throughout the week regarding electric vehicles, man. We're just trying to push the conversation forward, man. Just want to say thank you to you guys, and we'll see you guys in the next one.